Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing my deck profile of my other Shadow Paladin deck that I built from the new cards released in Requiem at Dusk. So this is going to be my alternate build. This is the Witch Shadow Paladin deck. So interesting. The witches were originally from season 1, like everyone remembers Skull Witch Eine from the show, and then there was also her sister, which is the one, the Dragon Monk Gojo clone. Forgot what it was called. This thing, yeah, here it is. Iron Hood, this one, and Skull Witch Eine, and I guess Vaha were the ones, and then I guess Bushiroad kind of forgot about the witches, and then eventually made them into their own little like sub-archetype or their sub-clan, which I think is great. Well, they also kind of expanded into Genesis, because Genesis had cards that had the name Witch in them also. So, start off here. And what I found amazing is that I have an SP of this, an SP of this, an SP of this, and an SP of this. So I pulled one SP of all the main Vanguards from the 2 extra boosters. I don't know why I wanted to point that out. Anyway, enough of that. So next we have 3 Mesmerizing Witch Fianna. So everybody who watched season 4 knows Rati, Kati uses this, and it's pretty decent, and it's super annoying if you're going up against this deck. So yeah, it's basically the witches like to troll the opponent, kind of like how Rias trolled me and made me pull like 7 of her and only 3 Macart or Cormac. But anyway, they like to basically take stuff from the opponent's deck, take their triggers out of the deck, and throw it on their field, destroying important cards like grade 2s and 1s and stuff. So it's really annoying. But the weakness of the deck is it's kind of counterblast heavy, so it's, I don't know, it's one of those, it's a deck that you have to really manage your resources very well in order, and it takes a lot of skill to play this deck. I'm surprised at how much skill, like how much strategizing it takes to play this deck. It's not to say that other decks don't have as much strategizing. There's all strategy in this type of game, but the witches, it's like it's more technical oriented, kind of like Oracle Think Tank and Genesis, and Pale Moon, as opposed to, say, a deck that's just like I don't know, Dragonic Overlord the End, or some kind of random restanding deck that's just, once you learn the combos, it's just kind of autopilot and it wins matches that way. So this deck is not like that. It takes a lot of skill to play it. So it's a very fun deck once you get the hang of it. So the other Legion is Cultus, which Rias. So I'm just doing the standard 4/4. For grade 2s, 4 Witch of Reality Femme. This is your 12k attacker for the witches, for Shadow Paladin. And it's also the Legion made for Fianna. Next, 4 Inspection Witch Deirdre. This is the Legion made for Rias. So I run 4 of each. And then this one has a pretty good effect. And the cost is Soul Blast once. So the reason why I'm running 4 is because it's not a counterblast cost. And it's good because it makes them, you know, basically they take a grade 0 and they stick it on their field. Over a rear guard. So it's not like they're calling to an open R. They call it onto a rear guard that already has a rear guard circle that already has a rear guard on it. So it's good. It's actually an anti-Legion card and anti-ground blue. If you don't understand what I mean by that, if you ever play against this deck, you will eventually learn what I mean by that. Next, we have 3 Witch of Godly Speed Emel. I'm running this over Nevin and the other, like the reprints, like Vaha, mainly because those are counterblasts, and I don't want any of my rear guards counterblasting, because both of the main Vanguards are counterblast 2, so I'm not going to let these guys take counterblasts. So I went with this just as an extra spot. You can run Curse Lancer in here. I'm actually considering running Curse Lancer just for the unflip pressure, and because this is only an 8k body. But this does, it's like an 11k attacker, sort of. The opponent has to have grade 0s, like he has to have like 2 grade 0s or more for it to actually do that. But for now, it's a witch card, it's new, so I'm just going to use it like that. That's the grade 2s. Grade 1s. 2 Witch of Quest. Securna, she's in here. This is kind of weird. This is like Zeal from Dimension Police. The effect that it has basically weakens the opponent's Vanguard attack by 5,000. So it works. It's only 6k. It's a 6k booster, but it's a new card and it's not counterblast, so I'm running it. Next, 4 Witch of Precious Stones, Dana. Similar to, I believe, it is kind of like Deirdre. It's like Deirdre, right? The one that's the Soul Blast one. You see, yeah, it's the grade 1 of this effect. And then 4 Witch of Choices, Eriu. This is the one that lets you discard a draw if the opponent has a grade 0. Well, yeah, they have 2 or more grade 0s. So this basically replaced, what's her name? Auron Hood. I might actually take this out for Auron Hood because I think the other one is a little bit more consistent. But this one's a new one, so, and it's rare. It's shiny, so I'm just running it for now. I may take it out though, or drop it to like 2 or something, and put 2 of the old school one back in. Basically the Dragon Monk Gojo clone. And then next we're running 2 Perfect Guards, Witch of Strawberries. This is actually a Genesis, but it doesn't matter. It just says when this unit is placed on G, you may pay the cost, choose a card from your hand, discard. If you do, choose one of your units being attacked. It doesn't matter. So Season 4, they fixed the Perfect Guards. They now are not clan specific, so you can run this in any deck you want. Like, you can put this in Great Nature, you can put this in Link Joker or Kagura, it doesn't even matter. I'm running it in here because it has Witch in the name, and the Witches need a Perfect Guard. And all my McLears are in my Revenger decks, so yeah. And I pulled 6 of these, so it doesn't really matter. Next, 2 Barrier Witch Grainne. This is their Quintet Wall. This is the only card in the deck, the only rearguard or non-Vanguard card that has a counterblast in here. So because other than those two, the 2 Vanguards, the 2 different Legions, this is the only card that will counterblast. It's counterblast 1, so you know you're only really going to use this very rarely in late game when you're usually at 5 damage, or if you heal, you know, you can use it. So it works. I'm just going to keep it like this. I'm not going to take it out or drop it to 1. I'm just going to leave it like that. Moving on to the triggers. This deck, the nice thing about the witches are because they're so field disruptive to the opponent, they can get away with running the rainbow. So they got their rainbows, like they got the stand, which has a really good effect. Oh, also, the reason why I'm running the stand, if I have to in a pinch, you can, as long as the opponent has the 2 grade 0s, you can soul charge and unflip when this is placed on R. So not that bad, but I mean, you'll almost never do that. But it does give them an option to unflip. But I may actually add Curse Lancer in here, just to improve the counterblast capabilities. Next, 4 draw, the Witch Critical, and the Witch Heal. So that's just the standard lineup, and it works. 2, the reason why it works is, first of all, they have stuff that like puts grade 0s in the opponent's field, so they can't really pressure them that well. They have all these dumb like 0s on their field that can only attack you for like 10k, and then with boost. So yeah, and then the like minus 5,000 of the Vanguard. So anyway, they can get away with getting multiple attacks in. And then the starter is Witch of Banquets Lir. Some people run Creeping Dark Goat. You can if you want. I hate those type of cards. In my opinion, I hate when I waste a counterblast, put it into my soul, and then I don't get a grade 3. That's just terrible. So I don't like those cards. This is the new card they've got, so I'm just gonna keep using this, and it's pretty decent starter. So that was basically the deck. I may change it, like I said, I may add this and Curse Lancer in at some point. But other than that, the deck works fine. It's a very good control-oriented, disruptive type of deck, and I think that's really good and unique. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more Cardfight Vanguard, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.